There is a part of you that you have never met, yet it has been quietly running your life since childhood. It does not want what you want. It does not chase your dreams. In fact, it works against them, carefully, patiently, without your permission. The Jungians had a name for this hidden inner figure. They called it an archetype. And once you see it, you can never unsee how often it has stopped you. You have probably noticed the pattern before. Things start going well, then something inside you flinches. You miss the deadline, you pick the fight, you eat the thing, you ghost the opportunity. You tell yourself you were tired, you were stressed, you were unlucky again. But quietly, somewhere underneath, you know the truth. Something inside you did not want it to work. Most people call this self-sabotage. The unconscious has a different name for it. It is not weakness. It is not laziness. It is not lack of discipline. It is an old protector inside you, and it believes it is saving your life. Carl Jung spent decades studying why intelligent adults destroy what they love. He noticed something strange in his patients. The part that sabotaged them was not stupid. It was clever, strategic, almost surgical in its timing. It struck right before promotions, right before weddings, right before breakthroughs. Jung began to see this force as an autonomous figure inside the psyche, a character with its own logic. He called these inner figures archetypes, ancient patterns living inside every human mind. These patterns are older than your personality, older than your name, older than your wounds. They are inherited shapes the human psyche has carried for thousands of years. And one archetype in particular kept showing up in cases of self-sabotage. It was not the shadow as people imagine it. It was something older, quieter. It was the part of you that learned very early that visibility was dangerous. That success had a cost. That being seen meant being hurt. To understand this, you have to go back, before words, before memory. Somewhere in your early life, you learned an equation: joy equals risk. You may not remember the moment, but your body remembers. Your nervous system remembers. A parent who turned cold when you shined. A sibling who punished your wins. A teacher who shamed your enthusiasm. A friend who left when you grew. Your psyche took notes. It built a quiet guardian to keep you safe. That guardian is the archetype Jung circled around but rarely named directly. Modern depth psychologists sometimes call it the saboteur, an inner figure born from old pain. Its job is simple: keep you small enough to stay safe. It does not hate you. That is the part most people miss. It loves you the way a frightened parent loves a child, through control. It would rather you fail safely than succeed dangerously. Picture this. You are about to launch something you care about. Your hands go cold. You suddenly need to clean the kitchen, or scroll, or argue with someone close. That is not random. That is the saboteur stepping between you and the door. It is doing what it has always done, protecting the child you used to be. The problem is that child grew up, but the protector never got the memo. It is still scanning for the same dangers, the same faces, the same punishments. It does not know that the room has changed, that you have changed. So it keeps running the old program, quietly, faithfully, tragically. Stay with me here. This next part will explain something about yourself you have never been able to articulate. The saboteur does not speak in clear sentences, it speaks in moods. It speaks in sudden exhaustion and strange resentment and quiet contempt for your own goals. You sit down to write the book. Suddenly the book seems stupid. You prepare to text the person. Suddenly the person seems wrong for you. You move toward the gym. Suddenly your body feels heavier than the door. These shifts are not random thoughts. They're the voice of the protector. It is trying to pull you back into the safe small room where it raised you. The saboteur is fluent in the language of reasonable excuses. It does not say, do not try. It says, not today, not yet, not this way. It offers logic so smooth, you mistake it for wisdom. Carl Jung wrote that what we do not make conscious appears in our lives as fate. Read that again slowly. What you do not make conscious appears as fate. That is what self-sabotage actually is. An unconscious pattern wearing the mask of bad luck. But the moment you see the saboteur as a figure, something changes. It stops being you. It becomes a part of you, a part you can speak to. There are signs that this archetype is active in your life right now. The first sign is the 90% rule. You finish things almost completely. The book is almost done, the pitch is almost ready, the conversation almost happens. Almost is the saboteur's favorite word. Almost keeps you safe from the verdict of done. The second sign is the sudden craving for distraction near important moments. The night before something matters, you find yourself in strange places online. You wake up tired for the very day you needed to be sharp. The third sign is contempt for people who do what you want to do. You scroll past someone living your dream and feel a hot, quiet bitterness. That bitterness is not about them. It is the protector warning you off the path. The fourth sign is chronic restarting. New plans, new systems, new identities. Every restart feels like growth, but it is often the saboteur buying time. The fifth sign is the strangest one. Things go well and you feel anxious. Not happy, not relieved, anxious, as if something is about to be taken. That anxiety is the old equation activating. Joy equals risk, success equals loss. There is a sixth sign too, quieter than the others, a subtle pride in your own struggle. A sense that suffering is more honest than thriving, that smallness is more humble than expansion. This is the saboteur dressed in moral clothing, the most dangerous costume it wears. Comment below one word if you recognize yourself in any of these signs. Just write "seen." Share which sign hit you the hardest. The recognition itself is part of the work. Then stay with me, because seeing a pattern is only half of the path. Now we move to the deeper question. What does the saboteur actually want? Jung taught that every inner figure, no matter how destructive, carries a hidden gift. The saboteur is not trying to ruin you. It is trying to be heard. It is the voice of a younger self who was never allowed to say no. It is the voice of a body that was never allowed to rest. It is a voice of a heart that learned to expect punishment after joy. When you fight this archetype, it grows louder, more clever, more creative in its sabotage. When you shame it, it goes underground and strikes from places you could not see. This is the part most modern self-help refuses to understand. You cannot beat an inner figure into submission, you can only befriend it. But when you turn toward it, something unexpected happens. It softens. Because it has been waiting your entire life for you to finally listen. This is what Jung called integration, not killing the inner figure, meeting it. You do not defeat the saboteur, you sit down with it. You ask the question almost no one asks their inner critic. What are you afraid of? The answer will surprise you. It is rarely about laziness or failure. It is usually about love, about belonging, about being too much or too visible. The protector inside you learned that smallness kept you connected. So every time you try to expand, it pulls you back into the old shape. Here's the practice. Tonight before sleep, sit quietly for 10 minutes. Imagine the part of you that sabotages your life sitting in a chair across from you. Do not picture a monster. Picture a younger version of yourself in old clothes. Ask only one question. What are you trying to protect me from? Do not answer for it. Do not rush it. Just listen. Write down whatever comes, even if it sounds strange or childlike. You may hear something like, I do not want them to leave us again. Or, I do not want them to laugh at us. Or, I am tired. That voice has been carrying weight for decades. It deserves a witness. When you witness it, the sabotage begins to lose its grip. Not all at once, but slowly, like a tide pulling back. You will start to notice the saboteur before it acts. That is the first victory. Then you will notice it acting and still choose differently. That is integration. Then one day you will move toward the thing you want, and the inner figure will move with you. That is the moment the archetype changes form. The saboteur becomes the guardian. Same energy, same intensity, new direction. The force that once kept you small now keeps you steady. The instinct that once whispered stop begins to whisper slow down and choose. That is not weakness disappearing. That is the same energy maturing inside you. The watchfulness that once cost you opportunities now protects your real ones. This is the alchemy Jung pointed to. Nothing in the psyche is wasted. The parts that hurt you the most often carry the gold you have been searching for. Your self-sabotage is not proof that you are broken. It is proof that you were protected. The work now is to thank that protection and update its instructions. You are not the child it learned to guard. You are the adult it was waiting for. So tonight, when the familiar pull comes, pause. Feel the cold hands. Feel the sudden urge to scroll, eat, argue, retreat. And instead of obeying, whisper inwardly, I see you. I am not in danger anymore. You will feel something shift, small at first, almost imperceptible. But you will have done what most adults never do. You will have met your own protector. You are not your sabotage. You are not your fear. You are not the old equation. You are the awareness that can finally hold them all without flinching. That awareness is your true self, and it has been waiting longer than you know. If this reached something real in you, subscribe to the Archetype Code. Every video decodes one more hidden part of your psyche so you can finally come home to yourself. What you resist persists. What you face transforms. What you integrate becomes power. This is the Jungian way, and the work, quietly, begins tonight.